Hey, welcome to Jazz After Dark, everybody. How you doing out there? I'm going to continue our little string here with the representative barrel strength. It's actually really good. I've come around on it. I had my wife try it there, and I had my neighbor try it. They really enjoyed it. My neighbor went kind of nuts over it there, but just a little bit here tonight because it is awfully late. I look at the clock there when we're doing this. All right. We're going to cover this. I have covered this so many times. Unfortunately, it's not your fault. It is a really difficult IRS rule to understand. It's not very clear. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through the 5-year rule for each individual type person, because there's the 5-year rule if you're 40 years old. There's the 5-year rule if you're close to 59 and a half, but you're not quite there. And then there's the 5-year rule for those of you that are right at 59 and a half, those of you that are over 59 and a half, doing conversions before 59 and a half and after 59 and a half. It's a freaking nightmare. And it's the IRS wording. So I'm going to try to simplify this and go through just a few examples. Grab a drink, hang out with me. Let's go through this. If you are not someone who has a Roth IRA or is dealing with this, you can move on. Maybe you hang out and you learn something, but otherwise, we're going to get right into it. All right. Let's start with people who are under 59 and a half. You could be 58, you could be 48, you could be 28. Let's talk about that pesky little 5-year rule. So how this works, if you want it to be counted as a qualified distribution, there is only one thing to do. You can withdraw from your Roth as a qualified withdrawal, meaning you met the criteria, or non-qualified. You're certainly free to take the money, but it could be considered non-qualified, and that's where the penalty and taxes come into play. All right, so if you have a Roth IRA and you are under the age of 59, a qualified withdrawal to avoid the penalty, not necessarily the tax, would be things like you've become disabled. You are paying for college expenses for yourself, your child, your wife, right? You have decided to buy a first-time home, and this does not mean that it's your first home ever. There's a little loophole there, but your first-time home purchase. And if you live in Florida or somewhere around like hurricane zone there, occasionally what they do is they say, man, natural disaster. A hurricane came through, tornadoes out there in the Midwest and down south a little bit. They say, you've been impacted by this. We will count a qualified withdrawal as, I need to take this money out to rebuild my house, right? So occasionally that comes up. Now, in a Roth IRA, if you are under the age of 59 and you simply want to withdraw your contributions, don't just throw the 5-year rule out the window. Don't even care about it. Doesn't matter. Don't look at it. Don't even question it. If you put money into a Roth IRA today and you're 40 years old, and at 41 years old, or even 40 and 1 month year old, you find out you're having quadruplets. And you go, man, I need every dollar I can get. You're certainly allowed to take your contributions out. That's not a qualified withdrawal. That's just a return of the capital that you put in there. That is allowed. But if you want it to count as a qualified distribution and you're under the age of 59, we're not really looking for the 5-year rule here. We're saying it just needs to be a qualified reason, or you need to be taking out your contributions. If it's the 5-year rule and you are over the age of 59 and a half, there are still qualified distributions. However, the fact that you're 59 and a half, that's a qualified reason, right? You've made it. That was the rule. They set the rules. You got to 59 and a half, you got to 60 and a half, whatever. You are now qualified to take the money out. This can be for a first-time home, a college expense, or purely because you just feel like taking money out. You are 100% allowed to do that. Now, if you want to take the earnings out, and you are right around or just over the 59 and a half, your Roth IRA has to have been open for 5 years. You cannot, this is weird, I don't know why, but you cannot start at age 59, put in $7,500, make $1,000 in profit, and then later that year say, I'm 59 and a half. I'd like to take my $8,500 out. Now, that's where the 5-year rule gets you. If you're anywhere wrapped around that 59 and a half age, you're the ones that really need to be paying attention to the 59 and a half or 50, the 5-year rule. Sorry, Jesus. Now, a little bit of a warning here, and I put it on the slide. They give you a break on this one. I don't know. They say, that's their words. So the 5-year rule is the year of when you put your first contribution in. So it's September now, going on October. If you are 57 years old, 56 years old, something like that, and you put $7,500 in a Roth IRA, right? Technically, you started the Roth IRA January 1st of 2023. So it's the full year. So if you contribute late in the year, it counts as 2023. You get the whole year. In fact, fun little fact here, if you contribute in March of next year, well, it's not 2023 anymore, it's 2024. Doesn't matter. You contribute for the 2023 year, you get that whole year. That all counts. So you could be beyond 2023 and into the next year and still have your clock start January 1 of the year before. And it's because they go by tax day, right? You know how you can make a contribution to your Roth IRA up to April 15th or 16th, whatever tax day lands on. That's why they do that. Okay. The next thing is, oh, this is a tricky one. I get this all the time. Conversions. 5-year rule wrapped around conversions. This one comes up all the time. I'm going to start with the over 59 and a half crowd because this is most of the time people that are asking. If you are 65 years old, 61 years old, 63, whatever it is, and you do a conversion from an IRA to a Roth IRA, you got to wait 5 years for that? What if your Roth IRA was open less than 5 years? You started it at 58 years old and it's 5 years old. Okay, now maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's not, whatever. And you do a conversion to the Roth IRA of $20,000. What did we talk about in the beginning of this? You are qualified to make a distribution of any kind, provided that you are at least 59 and a half or meet the other criteria, right? But we're sticking with the 59 and a half here. So you could do a conversion to the Roth and technically be qualified to take the money out, right? I don't know many people that do that, but the goal there is the government says, well, we taxed you on your contribution from the IRA, and we probably taxed you on some of your growth. So we're cool with it. You've paid your tax. We don't care. You're over 59 and a half. Go do whatever you want with it. It gets tricky if you're converting right around the 59 and a half age, right? Because what if you're not qualified yet? What if you do a conversion at 57 and your Roth was opened that year? It hasn't been 5 years yet, and you're still working on, you're doing your conversion and everything, and you're not technically qualified yet to take the money out. 5-year window. That's where we start opening that up and really questioning when that happened, okay? So again, the 5-year rule for the kids, stop it. Don't just throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. You put money in, you take money out, and then you could take your contributions out. Nobody cares. If you want to take out more than that, it just has to be for a qualified reason, and we're good to go. If you're over 59 and a half, I want you to think of it as, I'm here. I earned it. The rule said over 59 and a half, I take my money. It doesn't say I had to specify what dollars I'm taking out. So you're good to go. However, if you're right inside of that 59 and a half area there, let's just take a quick look and go how long you had the Roth. When was your first contribution? What year was that? Just make sure that the money you're going to take out still fits within the 5.5-year rule, or 5-year rule, not that. I'm thinking 59 and a half. 5.5. There's so many different things there. You see how it's confusing? It's a little bit odd, but these are just the fine points that your advisor, whoever you're working with, should be able to help you out with. I don't think many brokerage firms will tell you because they're not allowed to give you advice. So if you're working with an advisor, please get them to answer the question, right? That's all you got to do. Just, I don't know. Tell me what to do, man. If you're not working with an advisor, I hope you'll check us out here at Jazz Wealth, and do appreciate you watching and supporting us here late at night. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Adios.